seu pele verde escuro volta ao seu pigmento original. No answers to have. Blue Jr. opens his eyes and is alone in Boy Bunk 6. He strains his eyes to look out the window into the dark. The sky is a deep black, but is filled with small white points that illuminate the ground below. His eyes adjust to reveal the camp surrounded by a perimeter of...
Alrighty, with that beautiful announcement there and the beautiful announcement of, you know, let's hit $2,222, I am unfortunately out for the night. We've got one last run left, and I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite people on the Speed Dogs crew. He's the one, he's the only CCNeverender. CC.
Aw, thank you. Thank you, Clock. Thank you for your hard work today. It's been a fantastic evening listening to you. So, alrighty, folks. We have one more run for you tonight. That run is Pokemon Yellow NSC, which I believe is no save corruption. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting. Now, we are getting this run live from location at MagFest by TiKevin. And it's going to be an interesting situation. Oh, did I see the ticker move? Did I see the donation total move? If I was a professional, I would probably have... Aha, I do have that page open. We have a $5 donation from Ika. Shoo Shoo on the Choo Choo. Trying to get that $5 train going. Now, you heard Clock District. I know you heard Clock District. You were here 2 minutes ago when he said it. If we can hit $2,222 by the end of the next run, which is only about 10 minutes long, it's a little shorty at the very end. All right, little nugget of goodness at the very end of the night. All right, if we can hit that, TiKevin83, the runner, will perform the Pikachu Death Cry just for you. Don't you want to hear that? Isn't that fun? Come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing here? If everybody donated just $1, we'd have that. Easy. Easy. By the way, I want to remind everybody that what we're donating towards, this is Gerri Aid, of course, right? We are donating money. We are raising money for our friend Gerri, right? Gerri recently lost her longtime boyfriend and is, just realized her dream of opening up her own hair salon. And then, unfortunately, her boyfriend passed away and she can't afford to live in the house that they had. So she was evicted on Christmas Day. It's a really sad situation. So we thought we support our friends and family. We want to do something good for people out in the world. We want to use our platform to do something good in the world. And we decided we would go ahead and hold this marathon to raise some money for our friend Gerri. So if you would like to help us in that cause, please consider donating. Like I said, every dollar helps. Every little dollar helps. So if you want to donate just $1, we would really appreciate it. Or $5, or however much you feel like donating. If not, just being here is awesome. Spreading the word is awesome. Just letting people know that what we've got going on. We've got one more day. It's a little late now to start sharing. But, tell them to come back tomorrow. All Sunday, we got a great show for you. Right? It's going to be running all day. Well, from noon Eastern time. But point being, we got a great show. Tell your friends tomorrow. We got one last run. Let me find out where we are, though. Hold on. All right, everyone. Like I said, I want you all to be a little prepared. Just make sure we're going in here with the right understanding. TiKevin is at MagFest live on location. So just be aware. We're doing the best we can with our audio. It's going to be a little scuffed, but it's going to be great. You're going to love it. So sit tight. We're going to do a quick little transition. Oh, we got another donation. I'll read that before we start. Actually, I should read that now. Be easier that way. We have 2 donations. Oh my goodness. Clock District donated $5. Choo choo. Thank goodness. Trying to get that train going. And Fear, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Fear, donated $7, $1 per minute. I was behind world record. Hope everyone had a blast. We did, Fear. I know I did. Alrighty. Thank you, both of you, for your donations and helping us get closer to our goal. All right. I think it's time we get this run on the show on the road. Hold on. All right, everyone. We are here with TiKevin 83. TiKevin, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, CCNeverender?
I'm doing fine. Are you enjoying MagFest?
I am. It's been an amazing weekend. We've had panels. We've had a Mag Fast stream earlier with a ton of Mario runs.
Oh, great. All right. Well, what do we have here today?
Oh, well, today, for you guys, for Gerri Aid special, I prepped for you a commentary live from the MagFast land room. I'm going to be doing over the Pokemon No Save Corruption tasks, and this is a classic in Pokemon speedrunning, and I wanted to be able to tell you guys all about the details.
All right. Well, go ahead and give us a countdown, and let's get it up. Let's get it done.
Awesome. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Pokemon Yellow and No Save Corruption. The big difference from Save Corruption being that you don't see the game get beat in the first minute, because we're not going to be powering off the Game Boy right at the beginning of that run. We're going to be waiting to do some later glitches that can still happen very early in the game. And you're going to see some really interesting and odd strategies in the intro of the game here. You're going to see us pick not a nickname, but a default name Yellow. And that's important because that name Yellow gets used as the number of Pokemon that we have when we enter the Hall of Fame later. That Yellow name is used in our Pokemon data as part of the Pikachu owner data. You saw us set options in-game there. It's faster to open the options menu once you're in-game. And also, you saw us use Blue as the rival name. Blue is, again, faster than nicknaming because we don't see the nicknames often enough for them to come into effect. But also, you'll see this big screen wipe with 2 half circles as you enter the Pikachu battle. And that battle is... that battle animation happens faster that way because we picked a default name instead of nicknaming. It turns out that the junk data in the setup of those naming... it ends up somehow influencing that animation because they didn't expect you to not have any Pokemon in your party, and so it goes and tries to read your level to compare it to the enemy's level to create an animation for how intense the battle should be. But you don't have any Pokemon, so it goes and reads from garbage, which happens to be the nicknames.
Fantastic.
Fantastic, CCNeverender.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
So yeah, we don't see the names often enough for the longer names to matter, but you can also just write a bunch of data and then delete it, because the deleting of the characters in the rival nickname doesn't erase it from the temporary storage. It just erases it from being used. So a whole bunch of interesting techniques show up there. Now, if I remember correctly, I can't remember if we win or lose this battle, but the stat experience values that end up as a result are very, very important, because we're going to be putting Pikachu in our box. I believe it's Bill's Pokemon box in Gen 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see we have red bar here because we're going to be winning the battle. When you win a battle in red bar, you can see it skipped a whole bunch of jingles with us learning Tail Whip and a bunch of things, and our level up jingle that would usually happen. So it wasn't too much slower than the usual losing of the battle. We needed that to happen because we needed to get Eevee's stat XP onto Pikachu as part of the setup of all the data involved with doing the glitches to get to the Hall of Fame.
Slowest.
Does that make sense, CC? Did we get all that?
I think so. You said Eevee's stat XP?
Faster.
Yeah. So Eevee, the Pokemon we're battling, as not Eevee's, as in the effort value.
I know Gen 1 and 2 are a little different than that.
Yeah, so stat XP is like the Eevees of Gen 1 and 2, which is confusing because Eevee is also the Pokemon we're fighting.
Exactly.
So there's a whole layer of complexity with that, but the stat XP, just basically the numbers that are going into that are the base stats of Eevee, and they end up being really useful also as numbers that end up sending you to the Hall of Fame.
How convenient.
We like to call this the swag grass, while you're walking through all this extra grass here on the way back. And now this is really important. You'll see this is a staple of any Pokemon Yellow Gen 1 run, because Pikachu's sprite takes up space when you stand in front of Oak or to the side, and it makes the rival have to walk a lot more. So we go behind Oak, where Pikachu can be not in Blue's way. And so Blue has less distance to walk up to Oak and back up the straight.
No. It's gonna be the daily lock of it.
CC, how much of the Pokemon Yellow and Glitchless and NSC tasks have you gotten to see before?
I don't know if I've seen too much from Yellow. I know I've seen the Red. Is it It's not Glitchless, but it's the no major glitches. Is that what it's called? Whatever the category is for that one.
Usually it is called Glitchless, not just no major glitchless.
I guess I'm misremembering the name, but yes. So I have seen the Glitchless Red tasks. I don't know if I've seen the Yellow NSC one in particular.
Yeah, there's a lot of spice in this one that you don't see in a lot of other tasks, because the save corruption tasks look very specific. You play for a minute, you turn off the console, and you have total control of the console. With the glitchless ones, it's the polar opposite. You see a very normal-looking gameplay, except for the fact that you just win everything without worrying. This is kind of like a middle ground where you have to play kind of normally for a bit, because you have to get to certain points of the game where normal game actions become very buggy, and not just the process of shutting off the console.
No, you got it.
And then you start to be able to use those bugs that are inherent to the game's code to cause basically code execution that isn't arbitrary. Mm-hmm. We make a distinction between arbitrary code execution, where you can execute just any code, and code that is baked into the nature of the game as it was developed by the original authors.
Mm-hmm.
So as we enter the forest here, we're setting up a very specific encounter manipulation, actually. We have to get an encounter at the end of the forest on the same tile that we step in front of a trainer's vision. And by having both that encounter happen as we enter the trainer's vision and the battle with the trainer, there's going to be basically a desynchronization in how the map scripts handled. Map scripts are basically a way that the game tracks what's going on a certain map, like whether you're in battle or out of battle, or whether you fought certain numbers of trainers. And by having this encounter happen at the same time that we're encountering a battle and having Pikachu lose this battle, which you might be thinking, oh no, did the task desync? Did we just lose the task? No, it's all good. Pidgeotto was supposed to take us out there, and then we're actually supposed to also get this encounter because, and we needed to buy Pokeballs because Pidgey is essential to the whole setup. Like I said, getting that stat XP on Pikachu by winning the battle, that means we need to have a second Pokemon to be able to deposit the Pikachu into the box. So that's why we catch this Pidgey. And the Pidgey's values are also important because the values we catch for the Pidgey are set up for things that we need to be in place in memory in our party name. And this is where the real spice of the task starts for me, the part that I really, really love talking about and showing off for events. So I mentioned here the deposit of Pikachu already, where we're going into the PC, setting up very precise locations in memory. And now you're going to see something called the Manip. It's called the Manip because it's really long to be done by a human and involves something that looks completely absurd and makes no sense. You see the bird will be walking to the left. That's being manipulated. That bird needs to go all the way to the left in this room. And then we're going to stand at a very specific time for like half a frame. And then that's because we needed the bird to leave the screen on a certain frame so that it's... we're basically setting up like the pixel processing unit to have very specific code in it. And then jumping over that ledge preserves that data in the pixel processing unit even further. Walking up all the way through here, now through the gate, we're going to see... when we get through the second half of the gate, this. Because, like I said, the map scripts were desynced on this map because of having started that battle with the guy at the same time we got that encounter. And with all the other data we set up in pixel processing unit, in the boxes, in our character names, all of these things, we got this encounter, and now we used 4F. 4F is basically the way to start doing really crazy things with the game. And now we do this thing called party swaps, where we're basically overwriting a ton of data in mass. That it can easily corrupt things, but it's done just in a precise enough way that the game is over. And like I said, we also set up the number of Pokemon that we've seen and caught to be a very specific number, so that we don't have any input during the section. The 61 owned is actually the same. That number is coming from the name Yellow on Pikachu that we saw earlier. We named our character. That 61 and that name Yellow are the same data.
Was that time, by the way?
Oh, it's been time for like a minute. Or like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I thought so.
It tends to happen in tasks.
You know what's so funny?
It's difficult to get all that explaining. Oh, you go ahead, CZ.
I was going to say, what's so funny about... especially Gen 1 tasks, but it's like everything looks pretty normal, a little weird, but pretty normal. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there it is, right? You open the menu and okay, now you can buy the 4th floor, and then you can use that, and then your whole party is just letters and numbers, and now you're in a different location. Okay.
Yeah, and you have to get through things like, oh, well, by doing all that, you force another encounter to happen, but you can't get to the Hall of Fame unless you get through that encounter. So these are like a random level 17 Kangaskhan encounter.
There you go.
And then the fun thing about that 61 scene is that it means that you don't have as much text from Oak when you are going through the Hall of Fame, and that's what makes the last input way earlier, because usually you have to like clear text in the Hall of Fame to talk to Oak, but you don't have any text that you need to clear if you've seen 61 Pokemon.
That is so specific and very, very helpful. Very convenient.
Yeah. So last input's actually way earlier there, and that's what makes this sub 10-minute task by task timing at 9:47. But yeah, thank you guys for having me, and thank you everyone for watching the stream today. I really appreciate you guys coming out, and I really appreciate all the support for Gerri.
Yeah, this has been a really fun event. Thank you for participating from MagFest. I'm glad that we were able to put something together. And yeah, thank you so much for participating.
Yep, thank you so much, CC.
All right. Well, that was the end of day 2. So I guess let's go ahead and swap it back to intermission, and we'll close it out. Take us away, Quo.